Hey everyone, Antonio here from nitroplanes.com. We're here with the Twin Duke. This plane, obviously, as you can see right away, it's a very big plane. Just me standing next to it, it makes me even look not so big. This plane is a twin. It uses a 4-cell setup to power it. Stock battery is around a 4-cell, 3000 milliamp. I have been testing this plane with 4-cell, 4000 milliamp, getting a pretty good flight time. Weight isn't affected too much. The only thing with this plane, there is flaps on it. So you can either opt to use the flaps or not use the flaps. If you are using the flaps in the gear, it will take 6 channels. Let's say if you want to leave the flaps out, only use the gear, it's going to only take 5 channels. But what I did today is pretty much plugged up everything so you guys can see how it operates. You have 1 servo per elevator. You have 1 servo on the rudder, 1 on each aileron, and 1 on each flap. All the servos on board this plane are standard 9-gram servos. You guys may be able to see a little cutout here on the side. Do not expect this cutout when you receive the plane. This cutout I did on my own. It's pretty much to show you guys this plane is really customizable. There's seats inside. It's a really detailed plane. I'm gonna be working on this a little bit after the video and get the door to actually work. But so far I have the door hinged, I have the door cut out, and it does open. Like I said today, I'm not gonna be able to operate it because I don't have the servo in there yet. Also, another thing I want to mention, the plane does come with 2 pilots up front. The right pilot's out of his seat right now. He had to go to the restroom. So instead what we did, we decided to put the GoPro in his place to show you guys some, co-pilot footage from in the air. I have the plane plugged in, have full control of all the surfaces, and I'm gonna show you guys how this plane flies. One thing I do want to mention before I fly this plane is please be sure to balance your props. It is very, very important to balance your props. Alright, we're here lined up with the runway. We're going to try and do a pretty skilled takeoff at about half power. There you go, half power, and you guys can saw she's airborne. Really doesn't take much power. This plane has more than enough power on that 4-cell setup. The few times I brought this out to the field, I always get a crowd, always get compliments. This plane really looks really looks scale. So we're going to come down here on low pass, pull the gear up, gear going up. And now going to do some full speed passes. A little bit of rudder in there to get that tail around. Still on full throttle. Pulling a loop on that one, or half a loop. Gonna pull 1 degree, first degree of flaps here. Fly a little bit dirty with the gear down. There we go. There you guys can see. Gonna add a little bit more power here in the turn, a little bit more rudder, a little bit less aileron, just so we're not creating as much drag. There we go. Again, a little bit more rudder, a little bit less of the aileron, and gonna bring you a little bit closer to the camera, guys, so you guys can get a little bit better picture, and a little bit lower to the ground too, so you can actually see how slow this plane is flying. This is all real time here. As you guys can see, this plane is pretty much, it's maybe moving about 10 miles an hour. We're gonna pull out. Gear is being swept up. Gear is coming up as well. you guys want to do a little bit of aerobatics, inverted, very little up elevator needed, which means I can actually put a little bit heavier battery. The current battery in there is a stock one I received with it. It's 4-cell 3000 or 3300, somewhere in that range. You guys can see, once again, inverted. Not too much up elevator needed on this one. Here, vertical. You guys can see on that 4-cell 3-bladed prop, this plane just pulls. Pretty good roll rate on the ailerons, pretty scale actually. Elevator throw is, I have all my throws maxed out with about 60 degree of expo on all the channels. Except throttle. Throttle's all stock, no expo. It's a very docile plane. If you don't plan on flying it too fast, just want to do some scale flying, you can do that. What I'm doing right now, just pretty close flying. Use a little bit more rudder than normal just to get the plane to swing around a little bit quicker. Now gonna set up for a landing here. We got first degree of flaps in. Like I said, I don't really want to use a second degree just because we got a pretty good wind. Gears down, I see 3 little black dots. Power's about a 1/4 stick, just kind of feathering the throttle, making sure the plane sets up. There you go. A plane's very simple. I'm sure when you get the plane, you'll kind of know what I mean to wait for the plane to set up on landing. You'll be coming in, as soon as it bleeds off all the airspeed, and you get the ground effect in there, the plane is going to be, it's kind of going to set up on its own with a high attitude, or high nose attitude. But like I said, the plane is very simple to fly. Plane is not only simple to fly, but the plane looks great. One thing when this plane came in, I automatically said to Tony, this plane, I'm going to be flying it on the weekend. This plane just looks great. There's pretty much an endless amount of scale stuff you can do. It comes with lights. I did forget to mention the lights. You have 2 nav lights on the wingtips, one on the right, one on the left. If you want to add some pilots, you can by all means add pilots. If you want to add a door like I did, you can add a door. One thing I did want to mention in my testing that I found out with this plane, the hatch, on some maneuvers I can get it to come off, some really hard maneuvers. What I'd recommend doing is either installing some magnets under there with hot glue. You can get some pretty strong earth magnets at, pretty much anywhere you can find them. Or just clear tape. Clear tape on the top. Since it's painted white and the foam's white, you're not going to peel off anything when taking off the tape. But that's pretty much it. This plane, once again, flies good. If you guys would like to know any more details on it, be sure to check it out at nitroplanes.com. Thanks for watching, everyone. Until next time.